So what we are reading from is Bhagavad Gita. Have you heard of? Thank you, welcome. We are reading from is Bhagavad Gita, which basically means the song of God, Krishna. So he sang this song to his dear devotee Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So there was a huge battle which was being fought, and in middle of all of that, Arjuna gets extremely confused as to what he should do, and Krishna he gives the supreme instructions to his disciple and Arjuna, who was a warrior and his very close friend. And this book is Bhagavad Gita. There have been a lot of glories written about this book, and if you consider there is one book that one should read, there is one book that one should get inspirations from, is actually Bhagavad Gita. It's also known as a handbook for life. So there are many. If you're if you go into science of medicine, like if you do medical sciences, if you do any branches of engineering or any sciences, there are some handbooks which are written, which are condensed, concise, which try to cover almost all the major topics of that subject. And this actually is the handbook of life, how one should lead one's life. That's also like one of the glories as how it has been explained, this Bhagavad Gita as. And what we are reading from is, like I said, this is the 10th chapter, verse 1. There are 18 such chapters and there are 700 verses. And it's mainly dialogue between Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is God, and his dear disciple Arjuna. And I'll read the translation once again. And he said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna, because you are my dear friend. For your benefit, I should speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than I have already explained." And the purport by Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya, we see him in this big picture here. He founded Iskcon, which is the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and he came to the West in his late age and established Krishna consciousness, how to become conscious of Krishna, how to make our lives perfect, how to get out of bodily consciousness, how to instead become Krishna conscious. And then he established all these centers while he was still performing his pastimes in his body in the 70s, and then he moved on. But he lives with us with these wonderful books. This book, like I said, is Bhagavad Gita. It's the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. But this book has been translated by Prabhupada. So he has translated this book and many other such scriptures which tell us how to become Krishna conscious or God conscious. And the topic starts with the definition of the word Bhagavan. In the purport, Prabhupada explains what is the meaning of Bhagavan. And Bhaga is in Sanskrit language means opulences. Opulences means glorious qualities, glorious. If somebody is very rich, is called a person is opulent. So what are the different type of richness or opulence that Krishna has? And those opulences is known as Bhaga. Bhaga is the word which means opulences, and Vans is somebody who holds them. Like there's a word a lot of Hindi speakers would know, Vidwan. Vid means knowledge. Somebody who has knowledge is Vidwan. So it's Bhaga means opulences, and Van means is a holder of these opulences. So that is actually my main subject which I want to touch upon. I would want to say that I have very limited understanding of Krishna, a very limited understanding of this, of the wonderful scriptures that have been written by great devotees. So please give me some blessings that I can speak something of worth and I do not deviate from whatever our acharyas have said. Most of what I will speak is from a lecture from Bhakti Rasamrita Swami. I advise you to also go and visit him. I will not be reproduce everything he has said in his lecture, but he also has reproduced mainly what is in the scriptures. So yeah, it would be wonderful if I can explain some of the things that we try to approach in his lecture. So like I said, Bhagavan is the holder of the six opulences. And what are these six opulences? The six opulences of Krishna.
Beauty, power, renunciation, knowledge, and two more.
Yeah. Wealth. So Aishwarya is wealth. Veera is the powerful, being very powerful. Yeah. Yasha is the fame. Shri is the beauty. Gyan is knowledge, and Vairagya is the so these six qualities I will come to one by one, giving some examples from the pastimes of Krishna, and we'll go a little bit more into detail of it. So the first one is Aishwarya, the wealth, right? And wealth is okay. Before that, I really want us to all meditate on this class. So these are six qualities of Krishna or opulences of Krishna, but these qualities of Krishna are inconceivable. It's not easy to quantify the magnanimity of these opulences. These are just humans. This is just we not really think how much they are, how big they are, how creative Krishna also can be in manifesting them in his different pastimes. They're infinite and inexhaustible. They are infinite because if you have finite amount of wisdom, like okay, I can do only so much amount of math, and after that it's somebody else, right, who knows beyond that, or this is my subject of expertise, and this is all I know. But Krishna is all knowing, so his wealth, whenever we come to these opulences, is infinite. And also, if I have a lot of money in my bank account, and if I have, say, even a 10 billion Norwegian krone in my bank account, if I give away 5 billion to somebody else, then I'm left with 5 billion. But Krishna's wealth is inexhaustible. First of all, it's not endless, it's beyond what one can measure. And when he gives away that, then still he has unimaginable amount of wealth. So his wealth is inexhaustible. So and it's inconceivable, and it's infinite. So we have to think about the nature of these opulences when it comes to Krishna again and again. So the wealth that we are talking about is Krishna's, and Krishna, there is another word that is described for God, that he's Purna, he's complete. He's both infinite and he's complete. So there's if something is finite, that is incomplete, but something is that infinite is actually complete. So Krishna's wealth is complete. All that exists comes from Krishna. Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita and also other scriptures that Krishna is that he is the source of all that is. So he's Sarva Karanam Karanam. All the wealth that we see, we get impressed by how much money that the world's top 10 billionaires have, but they are but a small fragment of Krishna's wealth. And there's another aspect for Krishna's wealth is that, and all his opulences it's timeless. He never gets. There was not a time when he did not have this wealth. There will not be a time when he will not have all this wealth. All the opulences or the small fragment of opulences that some of the richest people that we have, there's always there's always a finiteness in terms of time also. So somebody gets rich and afterwards somebody gets poor. And then when he leaves the body, then obviously he doesn't bring that wealth with him anywhere. So Krishna is supremely rich and wealthy. And in his pastimes, when he comes to this earth, and then he actually also manifests a fragment of that wealth. So, like when Krishna comes and he is living in Dwarka. Dwarka is the city that Krishna rules, or in part of India when he was here, and he had 16,108 wives. 16,108 wives, and all of them they lived in huge, humongous palaces, and the palaces were, ordained, were decorated by innumerable jewels and inconceivable amount of precious gems and diamonds and what we cannot think of. But that too is but a small fraction of Krishna's wealth. Krishna's wealth is inconceivable. He has so much wealth. And also, like when he resides in Goloka Vrindavan. So Goloka Vrindavan is where Krishna resides eternally. It's the spiritual planet, and that's where Krishna resides as a cow herd boy, and his primary occupation is to herd cows. And he takes Krishna all these cows out to graze every day in the morning, and he comes back and he lives there with his most beautiful and most dear and intimate devotees. And the mood of that planet where Krishna resides is the love for Krishna, is the service for Krishna, opulence. So the wealth is not really the mood there. There's nobody who is really trying to demonstrate their beautiful, the devotees, the Gopals and the Gopis. But still, the Gopis there, they have jewels, their anklets, they have chintamani, they have all wish fulfilling gems that they are wearing around, and then they can use them to produce the most beautiful offering for Krishna. So the wealth of Krishna, like I said, is not limited. It's inconceivable when he comes and demonstrate even a fraction of it, just to give us a hint, a flavor of how wealthy he is. But then also where he resides eternally in Goloka Vrindavan, there also the Gopas and the Gopis have inconceivable amount of wealth, right? So wealth is one of the opulences of Krishna. Then we can talk about his strength, his physical strength. Krishna is supremely powerful. He comes to this earth and he kills numerous demons who are extremely powerful. He comes in the form of Krishna and he sucks the life out of Putana. Putana is a great genius. It's explained in our Shastra that she's 8 miles long. She's humongous. She comes dressed up as a mother, as a most beautiful divine mother, with her chest poisoned, so that she wanted to kill Krishna. But then Krishna, of course, Krishna when he comes on this material planet, he comes with his own will, and his activities are divine. His body is divine, it's transcendental. It cannot be killed by physical or any poison that is operating at physical level. So he just sucks the life out of Putana. And also the strength of Krishna is for the mortal souls. Again, we have to think it's finite, right? So we have only so much strength. We can push against a wall and then we tire ourselves, but that is not the case with Krishna. Krishna can lift the Govardhan, right? With his pinky finger, the small finger of his left hand, like that. So he's supremely powerful, and his strength does not depend on his age. He's an infant when he takes the life out of Putana. Like for human beings, we grow our strength till we get to our youth, and after that our physical strength declines. So like that, the physical strength of Krishna is is just inconceivable. It's huge. It's all the three words. Inconceivable, infinite, inexhaustible. He does not get tired if he doesn't want to get tired, right? And he kills Putana when he was very young, very young. He's an infant, and when it's not just the physical strength. Um, so Krishna, it's explained in Bhagavad Gita and elsewhere that Krishna comes and expands in different, avatars, different Vishnu avatars. Like he comes as Lord Narasimhadev in Satyuga. He comes as Lord Ramachandra in Treta. He comes as himself in Dwapar, right? So like that he comes in different avatars, and he demonstrates all these opulences. So Prabhupada writes also in Bhagavatam, Sri Ramachandra, he also exhibits all these six opulences. He is also non-different from Krishna. He exhibits all these six opulences. And Ramachandra, who was his primary, opponent in his leelas and his pastime, was Ravana, right? And Ravana he was so powerful. He had received so many opulences and blessings, might from the worship of different demigods like Shiva and Brahma. And there was no human being that could actually conquer him. He had 10 heads. So if you cut one head, it will be broke, right? And he was nearly immortal. But still, Lord Ramachandra, he was able to kill him. Similarly, Hiranyakashipu, was killed by Lord Narasimhadev. And it's not just the physical strength. We try to, as when there's a demon and everything, we try to plan such that we become, nearly immortal. And Hiranyakashipu prays to Brahma, and he takes a boon that he will not be killed by any human being. He cannot be killed by any animal. He cannot be killed during the night. He cannot be killed during the day. He cannot be killed in the house or outside the house. He made all the conditions which made him nearly immortal. But Krishna, he comes at Lord Narasimhadev. So his strength is not physical, but also at intelligence level. It's not very easy to, or it's impossible to beat Krishna. So he will assume a form that he can, that we can conceive. Like his strength is inconceivable. What we can conceive is only finite. So we can get all these boons as Hiranyakashipu, that I will not be killed by a human being. I cannot be killed by an animal. But then he takes the form of Narasimhadev there. So he's half lion and half human being, right? And he will not be killed by any weapons. That was the boon that Hiranyakashipu got. So how was he killed? By the nails of Lord Narasimhadev, right? Lord. So okay, I'm not going to take a Sudarshan Chakra. I'm not going to take a bow and arrow. I'm not going to hold Balram's plow and use it as a weapon. No, I'll just use my nails and I'll take the life out of this great demon Hiranyakashipu. So Krishna's opulence is that of also strength. So he's the most powerful, and his strength is again inconceivable, infinite, inexhaustible, abhyayam, and it's poon. It's complete. It's infinite. So this is also one of the strength of Krishna or the opulence is strength. And then fame. We are talking about fame, and fame is being famous with positive qualities. And Krishna's fame again is eternal. It doesn't die down in different yugas, in different places, in different times, in different circumstances. Krishna's fame is all there. The fame of us mortal souls is last for some time, and then Michael Schumacher was the most powerful, the fastest F1 driver, but then not anymore, right? Then that is fine. You can talk about him for some years, but then somebody else will be at his place, and that person becomes famous. But Krishna, his fame is timeless, is eternal. And also our acharyas, they explain that Krishna's fame is like the moonlight. So it's soothing. It just takes the darkness away very nicely, and it makes everything nice and bright and white is what they say. Um, there are many pastimes, where Hare Krishna's fame. Once you start narrating Krishna's fame, then even literally the color of Yamuna, which was it's dark, but then there was pastimes when Krishna's fame is being described by the shores of Yamuna, and she turns white. She turns white milk like, and the gopis, they start churning butter out of Yamuna's milk. So Krishna's fame in that sense is cleansing. So when we talk about Krishna's fame, it's cleansing to our heart. It really benefits when we talk about Krishna's fame. So, and then of course, like Prabhuji was saying, Krishna is the most beautiful. His beauty, everything is so beautiful about Krishna. They are just bhajans written about different physical aspects of Krishna. That his eyes are so beautiful, his hair, the curly hair and the locks of Krishna are so beautiful. His lips are so beautiful. His hands are beautiful. Everything about Krishna is beautiful. His songs are beautiful. His dances are beautiful. So Krishna is the most beautiful person that we can think of. And it is explained that one who has witnessed the beauty of Krishna, so who has witnessed the beauty of Krishna the most is the gopis, right? And one thing that can explain a person who is so dear and beautiful is how much that person is missed if in their absence. So the gopis, they long to see Krishna all the time. They don't want to be away from the face of Krishna, from seeing Radha Shyama in person. That is the ultimate objective of all gopis. So it is explained that when Krishna goes, like we were discussing Golok Vrindavan, Krishna's primary occupation is to actually take the cows to graze, right? And when Krishna takes his cows to graze along with all the gopis, they become so restless. They become totally heartbroken. They they cannot spend a moment. And they explain that each moment which is spent in separation of Krishna is like a yuga. Yuga means like the whole, hundreds and thousands of years, depending on which yuga you're talking about. So, but for the gopis, the time becomes a testing punishment. It's just if you're having good time, then the time just flies, and if you're having a really bad time, each moment is just so hurtful, and that's what happens to Krishna. So beautiful is Krishna. So another a pastime is Krishna is so beautiful that he is amazed to see his own beauty. So, like we were saying, Krishna has all these beautiful castles or palaces in Dwarka, which has so many jewels and which just reflect his face and his form. And when Krishna sees that, then he's amazed. Oh my God, how beautiful I am! But anybody who has witnessed Krishna, and what like our Shastra explained, is he so beautiful. I don't know if I can quickly find the verse for that, otherwise we'll continue. So, Prabhupada writes in this purport, it's the last verse of chapter 6. It is by great fortune that one comes to Krishna consciousness on the path of Bhakti Yoga to become well situated according to the Vedic direction. The ideal yogi concentrates his attention on Krishna, who is called Shyama Sundar, who is as beautifully colored as a cloud, whose lotus-like face is as effulgent as the sun, whose dress is brilliant with jewels, and whose body is flower garlanded. Illuminating all sides is his gorgeous luster, which is called the Brahma Jyoti. He incarnates in various forms such as Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha, and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he descends like a human being as the son of Mother Yashoda, and he is known as Krishna Govinda Vasudev. He is the perfect child, husband, friend, and master, and he is full with all opulences and transcendental qualities. Right? I just wanted to read this because that explains the beauty of Krishna. If one remains fully conscious of these features of the Lord, he is called the highest. He is called the highest yogi. Prabhupada explains in the purport. So Krishna is supremely beautiful. He and this like we were talking about is his beauty is inconceivable, infinite, inexhaustible. He takes birth. Actually, he comes to this earth. There's a beautiful pastime that once he comes in his four hands form of Vishnu, and as his as his eternal sort of form as Vishnu. But then Mother Yashoda, she's the Mother Devaki rather. She says no, I want to see you as my child. Then he assumes the form of a child. And as a child he's so beautiful. His beauty is just enjoyed by all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. And then he grows and he enters into teen, and that's how he actually remains. He remains like a 16-year-old boy. That is all, during his entire span or pastimes of when he's there on this earthly planet. He does not age. He does not become first. He lives like up to about 120 years I think, in his body, but he um, he looks and appears. He has even grandchildren and beyond, but he remains a young boy, and that is his again the opulence that never his body never becomes old. Anyway, Krishna also says that his body is Divya. Krishna says his appearance and disappearance is Divya, and which is transcendental, and his body is also transcendental. All body, the entirety of Krishna's bodies are transcendental. The gross body and the subtle body is transcendental. It is not touched by the imperfectness of a jiva. That's why what Krishna says becomes our handbook. Otherwise, it will be flawed. No, he's flawless. What he says is flawless. So, so the subtle body, which comprises of mind, intelligence, and such, is also transcendental for Krishna. Right? So he's what we have discussed so far, that he's supremely wealthy, he's supremely strong, he's supremely famous, and then yeah, there was one more point that Maharaj made, was that actually wealth, who is the goddess of wealth, is Lakshmi. And Lakshmi's another name is Chanchala. Chanchala means somebody who is very fickle, doesn't stay at one place. But Krishna is so beautiful that Lakshmi sits next to Krishna all the time. She doesn't. Even she cannot be moved. She's so enchanted by the by Krishna that she never moves from the service of Krishna in Vaikuntha. So, like that, there are many beautiful details to all these opulences and pastimes. And then the next one is jnana, knowledge. And so Krishna has is the most knowledgeable person. He knows everything, and his knowledge is complete. And his knowledge is complete in terms of time, place, and circumstances. So his knowledge is complete. How? We can reflect on that. So he knows the past, Krishna says. He knows the past, he knows the future, he knows the present. So presently, Mataji behind the curtain is probably offering, but I can only guess. And I cannot see beyond what the kids are doing in the other room. So my knowledge in this presence is also incomplete. But Krishna knows. He's all speaking. He knows that. Krishna knows what we did in this lifetime and what we did in all lifetimes in the past. And Krishna knows, is all knowing also in the future. He knows. And also he said like time, and he knows what is happening in Norway. He knows everything what is happening in Antarctica or India, right? So and not just in this material world. There are so many numerous material worlds. There are so many numerous spiritual planets, and Krishna is all knowing in all those what is happening everywhere, and has happened everywhere, and will happen everywhere. So there was a discussion, actually again, Maharaj asked was, there was a discussion there that if Krishna is all knowing and he knows our future too, do we really have a self-will? So it's a question that he has asked that, okay, if we have self-will, Krishna says, I don't take the self-will away, then how does he know the future? Any guesses? And okay, let us think about that, and maybe even a chance to go through this lecture later, to reflect on this. I will not, yeah. Or if you want to say something.
Actually, I received that realization, comprehension.
Yeah.
But it's not like I exactly
Yeah. It's
I saw that.
Yeah. So Krishna says that we are infinitesimal part of Krishna's potency actually. So then Krishna has supreme opulences. We have finite opulences. We may be famous for a period. We may be beautiful for a period. We can have some knowledge, some amount of knowledge. We can have some amount of fame and wealth and strength. But Krishna is complete. Krishna has infinite amount of all these opulences. But Krishna also says that but what we have is, as a human being, we have free will, and free will is something that Krishna doesn't take away. We can exercise our free will to some extent. For example, if I want to speak something, I can speak, which I can decide, provided Krishna doesn't take my breath away immediately. Krishna doesn't take my prana away, or Krishna doesn't take my consciousness away, or Krishna doesn't make me, But given all those other circumstances, I can express myself, I can speak, I can to some extent express my free will. But at least Maharaj in that lecture explained that Krishna knows how we will exercise our free will also in the future. So that's how Krishna is all knowing. So we are free, but he knows how we will exercise our free will. But there are many explanations to this and realizations, and we can think about that. There are different acharyas who have different understanding of this.
I remember that also, as we are particles of Krishna, actually Krishna is acting through us, and we are just like a tools on the absolute platform. And the free will of us is just to surrender or not.
Yeah.
That is because everything else is provided by Krishna. We are like observers, and so we just choose to surrender to Krishna's plan or to do things on my own. That's our free will, actually. Only nothing else. How it's not possible to have this fundamental. So this we are free will.
Yes. Thank you. And Krishna knows whether we'll surrender or not. So that was a reflection of Maharaj in this lecture. But let us think more on this. And then the last opulence of Krishna is renunciation. And it is explained, or Krishna also Maharaj explains this, that all these opulences that we talk about makes a person attractive, right? If I'm very wealthy, I'll be attractive. People will be attracted to my wealth. If I'm very beautiful, people will be attracted to my wealth, or knowledgeable, or famous, or very very strong. People will be attracted, and these are in a way the opulences that we can conceive on material level. But if somebody is very rich, but he's also very possessive about that richness, then it's not so attractive, is it? Or if somebody is very famous, then becomes proud and arrogant with that, then it's not very, very. And that's what we see, right? Almost all our mortal souls, the fragment of the opulence of God that we get. And we become quite proud and possessive about it, that we get attached to it so much that to get that we can do stupid things, and to not lose that also we do quite stupid things. So, but when it comes to Krishna, he's totally renunciate. His perfection is also because he is never touched by his opulence, he's never attached to all these opulences. And it is explained in different pastimes, and Krishna says that Krishna is Bhakta Vatsalya, right? And Bhakta Vatsalya means Krishna he has the Vatsalya or love and compassion for his bhaktas, of his devotees, and that is the nature of Krishna. That is the only attachment, or you can say transcendental attachment that he has for Krishna, for his devotees. He's not attached by wealth. He's not attached by fame, and it's explained in his pastimes. And Krishna says that shows that the pastime of Sudama. Sudama comes to Dwarka. Sudama is a dear friend of Krishna, and he comes to visit Shri Krishna in his palace, and Krishna manifests beautiful pastime when he meets Sudama. So he comes to know that my dear devotee Sudama, he's his childhood friend, right? Has come to the main gate of the palace, and then he runs from his palace barefooted. He's the king. He's the king of Dwarka, and as he's running, he doesn't care whether he's wearing his best clothes. He's not caring about his beauty. He's not caring about all the jewels that are just falling off, all the anklets, all the earrings, all the everything. So he's not worried about the jewels that he's wearing. He's just worried about meeting his devotee as soon as possible. So he's not attached to his wealth. There are the other examples. strength. Can you give a pastime when Krishna shows that he's not attached to demonstrate that he's powerful? I mean, one example that we can easily think of is from the Govardhan Leela, right? So Yashoda, Mother Yashoda is trying to tie him with a rope, and Krishna, to begin with, he shows that no, you cannot tie me with your love or with your strength or with your intelligence by increasing the length of the ropes. But what he does is, but even eventually succumbs to the love of Mother Yashoda and her dear friend. So he's not attached to his strength either. So he's totally renunciate. He's not attached to, and he comes. One reflection was also he comes. Krishna says, "My appearance and disappearance happens by my own will." Right? We take different bodies based on our karmic reactions, and if we have some karma left, we again take another life form. But Krishna comes and leaves with his own free will, and Krishna makes such a um, huge capital city of Dwarka, right? And there are 16,108 palaces with the most beautiful lights and the most beautiful opulence. All these palaces, but when he leaves. He does not. He's not attached. He leaves. He finishes his leelas and goes, takes all his transcendental devotees along with him to Golok Vrindavan. He goes. He's not attached. So Krishna is with all these opulences plus the opulence of infinite renunciation becomes what? The most attractive person. And that is the meaning the word Krishna stands for is the most attractive person. He's Bhagavan. He's Bhagavan because he has all these opulences. And because he has all these opulences, he's also the most attractive person. What Krishna means is the most attractive person. So that is what I wanted to talk about, the 6 opulences of Krishna. There was one more point, which was an important point, was in the verse itself, and one was where Krishna says that I am telling you about these opulences. I'm telling about myself for your benefit. So and that is important that we talk about Krishna and Krishna's opulences and Krishna's pastimes and Krishna's beauties, Krishna's fame, Krishna's how knowledgeable he is. So we are glorifying Krishna. What we are doing is Krishna Katha, right? And this Krishna Katha is for our own benefit, just like it is for the benefit of. What is the benefit that we? What is the benefit as a devotee is to detach from Maya, from the external potency of Krishna, from the worldly pleasures, but get eternal love and service for Krishna. So that is the objective. When we do this, then when we glorify Krishna, that is what happens. Right? It's interesting. Again, I was reflecting on was that if we have a neighbor and if we try to appreciate his wealth, what do we get? What do we get by such conversation? Nothing. It's actually known as prajalpa. We are talking about worldly things, that how beautiful that lady looks, or how rich that person is. What we get is maybe envy, or we just want to long for it, and that is all at material worldly platform. But when we talk about the wealth of Krishna, that is different, right? Then when we talk about the beauty of Krishna, that becomes Krishna Katha. It cleanses our heart. We don't want to become the most beautiful. Uh, um, we don't want to have the most beautiful body, but we want to make Krishna the most beautiful. We want to garland him. We want to make the most beautiful offering for Krishna as Bhoga. That is what the Krishna Katha does, right? So I don't know if what I'm trying to put across is that the difference between worldly talks, which is Prajalpa, and Krishna Katha, or glorifying Krishna. Glorifying Krishna is for our own benefit. It cleanses our heart from attachment to worldly pleasures, and it instead makes us brings us closer to Krishna. And that's what devotees do. They talk about Krishna, his form, his pastimes, his name. We chant Krishna's names, um, and try to get closer to him. Yes. Chai. Any question? Okay. So now we will continue the program. We will do Arati. We will stand up and we will sing Krishna's holy names. Chai. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Advaita Gadadhar Srivastadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivastadi Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivastadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivastadi Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare
स्वामी गौरव शिला प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवार विचार्य भक्ति सिद्धांत ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज की नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की स्वर्गा धाम की वृंदावन धाम की अयोध्या धाम की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की जय। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Martina, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Namaste Narasimha